It's 8-bit, you little shit. That's right, punk. Just rage and quit. I don't care, don't give a fuck. It is time for me to go level up. It's 8-bit, you little shit. That's right, punk. Just rage and quit. I don't care, don't give a fuck. It is time for me to go level up. Alright, so Crash Test Dummies was a fad that happened a bunch of years ago. It was a bunch of them public service announcements like the anti-drug campaigns and whatnot, except this was for making sure that y'all drive safely, right? No drunk driving, there was no texting while driving back then, but you get the point, right? It was all about safe driving, and then really my only exposure to them was seeing them a lot in The Simpsons. But apparently this shit was popular, dog. You know, I guess they made like a cartoon to it, and they had a bunch of toys and stuff. I vaguely remember that. But apparently there was also video games, and that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the incredible Crash Dummies. So I'm not familiar with all the backstory, all the lore, you know, so I'm going to this completely blind, right? And I gotta say, the plot, it makes absolutely no fucking sense. So the two main characters that you alternate between is Slick and Spin. They're trying to rescue their friends who are also Crash Test Dummies called Spare Tire and Daryl. Why he just has a regular name, I'm not sure. Maybe it's like that movie Daryl that, you know, everybody should have went to see, but instead everybody is talking about fucking AI with that Haley Joel Osment kid or whatever. No, everybody go watch Daryl, okay? Daryl, it's a good fucking movie. It's like that movie, but better. But they was taken, all right? They was kidnapped by the main sworn enemy of the Crash Test Dummies, which is this guy called Junkman. Every time they said Junkman, it made me think that he's like some reject fucking bad guy from Mega Man. Anyway, the main game is you gotta rescue your friends. You gotta rescue your fellow comrades, your fellow Crash Test Dummies. And, well, it's a platformer. And one thing I didn't know going into this is that this is an LJN game. Because, you know, they always made the best games, right? Before we even talk about the controls and the gameplay and the rest of the story or whatever, let's just get this right out of the way. This is one of the ugliest fucking games I've ever played. And granted, you know, this was originally on NES, I believe, which is even weirder to find out this game came out in 93. 93. Who the hell was still playing fucking NES games in 93? This was the era of fucking Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. To me, that just screams that they was not confident in this game. So they was just like, alright, maybe if we put it on NES, before we put it on Super Nintendo, maybe people won't know that this piece of shit came out. Seriously, dog, that's some Gilligan's Island shit right there. But yeah, this is one of the ugliest games I've ever played. It's no different than that fucking Dennis the Menace game that I talked about a while ago. It's just not a good game to look at. The graphics, they don't look terrible at first, but like the color choices are shit. Most of the time the backgrounds don't even have anything in them. The sky is just pure fucking blackness. And this is one of those old platformers where they just have a bunch of different things that help you throughout the game. But let me tell you, some of this shit gets real confusing. Like power-ups are traffic cones, and every once in a while your head will get lobbed off, and then the gameplay style just totally changes. The control schemes totally go backwards until you get your head back, and then you have to readjust to what you was playing as earlier. You got a bunch of enemies that are getting in your way, you got fake traffic cones, you got some motherfuckers dropping bombs on your ass, you got these rocket power-ups that are supposed to be helpful. They make you like invincible for a short while, kind of like it's a Sonic the Hedgehog game, but what happens is it fucking rockets you all around the screen and you have no fucking clue where you're going, and guess what? Most of the time you're gonna end up flying into enemies anyway. There's like 5 levels in the game. This is not a long game. You can fucking wipe the floor with this shit in like less than half an hour. It's that easy of a game. Not that many levels, and I mean, aside from the fact that they just fucking spam enemies all throughout the stages, really, this is a pretty easy game, aside from the occasional time they try to slip you up with one of these like puzzle mini games, which, by the way, these suck ass. I hate these kind of levels in games. And aside from some of the platforming, the areas that you're exploring ain't all that interesting. I mean, you got sewer, you got a junkyard, you got docks, you got main bad guy's lair for the final boss. Honestly, the best boss level in this whole game is the last one, and that's just because you know that the game is about to be over. I gotta say, this game is a fucking shit skid on the side of the highway, and believe me, that is probably the least shitty pun I could make, because there's so many all throughout the game. So many car puns and car crash puns and all other kind of shit. This game's idea of humor is nothing but dad jokes, I swear. So yeah, that's all that really needs to be said. It's probably not LJN's worst game because they got plenty more shitty games to work with, but I don't know. This is just kind of a game that came and went because I don't really see a lot of people being interested in it. Even back when Crash Test Dummies was an interesting franchise for people.
Open a beer and chug it down. Now the road tonight.